What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to install a spare tire spacer for your Jeep JK Wrangler. This also will include the TJs and YJs, and installing a third brake light extension bracket for you want to run those 33s or even 35s on that 30 or that spare tire carrier. This is, a pretty in-depth video, a little bit. That does require some drilling and cutting and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video. I'm going to show you guys how it's done and what you got to do. Pretty much what we got here is the spacer for your rear tire, your spare tire. This is just a standard bracket with a bag of hardware here with some studs and some nuts and washers. And let's get our instructions out. This is the Jeep JK, TJ, and it will fit some YJ's spare tire bracket. Using this kit with larger 33, you'll need additional brackets and everything else for this, which we'll actually be installing. We also have the third brake light for the Jeep JK extension. We'll have to do some cutting and trimming to install this bracket. You've got your hardware bag, nuts, bolts, washers. We'll show you guys how to install that. Let's go ahead and get into the video, and I'm going to show you guys what to do. So the first thing you're going to have to do is go ahead and remove your spare tire. And before removing that rear bracket here, you need to go ahead and remove this vent for access for the plug that goes through the body right here. You'll need to remove this rubber grommet. And we'll go ahead and get these. Got a couple 13 mils going all the way around it, 13 millimeter bolts here, all the way around the back carrier. We're going to get this off. We're going to have to cut this down so we can put the extension bracket so we can bring this up. So let's go ahead and get this removed and show you guys what's up. What you do once you get your carrier removed, you notice I've already got my markings here. This is your line where you're going to make your cut for your third brake light extension. You'll take your tape measure from here to here, multiple points so you can get a good angle all the way across. You're going to go 3.5 inches from the base, from here to here, so 3.5 inches. Same thing here. Now I used a white marker, paint marker for this, better visibility. And you're going to take this off so you don't mess up your cuts. So you make your cut all the way across and pretty much cut this in half. Now you do have your wire harness here for your third brake light. You want to move that out of the way. Make sure you don't damage that. You don't want to cut your wires or anything when you're making your cuts all the way across. So we're going to go ahead and grab our grinder and go ahead and cut this in half. So I'm going to show you guys the next step what you got to do here. So So you see I got some lines and markings already here. So you'll take your extension plate here and you'll mount it right over the top of this. And you'll go just to the end of where these lines are. So you'll line it up and you'll make your markings. Again, I used a white paint marker for visibility so it's easier to see for drilling it out. You'll just have to drill your holes. You'll use a 9/32 drill bit for this. I've already got it mounted up on my drill over here. So I'm going to go ahead and get these two holes drilled, and you'll have to drill 2 more holes over on this side. So essentially this will be your centerpiece between the two, and you'll screw and fasten between the 2 pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and get these drilled out here, and then mark these up on this other piece and get these drilled out. Again, when you're drilling this out, you can move this and tape this up out of the way, just so you don't mess up your wiring harness or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and get these 2 marked up, get these 2 holes drilled out so we can get these other 2 fitted and ready to go. This is where we're at with it. We got these 4 holes drilled. We had to drill 2 extra holes for the side, and this called for 6, actually 4 on each part, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that gives you a little bit of additional support. I didn't mention that before, but you do have to drill out these other 2 holes on each side of the bracket for additional support. So we got this done. The bracket's pretty much ready to go back together, and we'll get ready to go ahead and get ready to mount the spare tire carrier back on, and show you how to install the tire spacer. So let's go ahead and get that mounted up. So we pretty much got this mounted back up, got our wiring harness routed. Now I've done it like this, and routed the harness like this because you have no slide to go back through this hole and bring it around and to install your grommet properly. Even if you went through here, down through here, and through there, it would still not have enough space to install your grommet back properly. So this shouldn't interfere with anything with your harness. If it does, you can add additional tape, plastic conduit over this as well, or you can add some extension here into your wire harness. But to show you guys on the back side here what we're working with, on your back side is where your wire harness comes to the body, and here's your connector right here. Now this actually has a little slide tab that this slides on and off of, and you'll just disconnect this from here when you're doing your third brake light. So this is the little plastic cover here that they want you to take off, and it just pops back into place. We're going to go ahead and get the spacer installed and show you guys how to do that. So this is pretty much how your spacer will come. You'll get the bracket. As you can kind of see, it has like an angle to it. So this is actually going to bring that tire up and out away from your bumper at the bottom. As you can see, the cutout at the bottom, that's actually going to bring the tire out and up away from your bumper, and that's exactly what this is for. Because when you start running 33s and bigger on your Jeep Wrangler, we all know we like those bigger tires and go off-roading. So in order to keep that from happening, you want to install the spacer. So this kit comes with 3 studs. You'll actually get 4 nuts, and that's for installing the studs. And you'll get 4 washers. So you'll have your 4 washers, 5 washers here. So you'll be able to install the studs. Shouldn't need nothing more than a couple wrenches, sockets maybe. This isn't too hard to install. You want to line, you got different mounting spots for different wheel spacings. So whether you have a TJ, JK, YJ, doesn't matter. This should fit all of them, not just the JK models. So you'll have your 3 main holes here, and that's what those nuts are for. So these nuts will actually go through your main studs, through your normal OEM stock tire carrier. Then you'll install your washers with that as well. And I'm going to show you guys how to install this sucker. It's fairly easy. And these, you want to line up your bolt pattern for your wheels. So when you put them in, you want to put them into the back and line them up. You want to line them up before you install them. You don't want to have to go back in and redo this to hammer these back out and risk damaging the studs. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we pretty much finished this up. This is the last of the install. This is how it looks when you get done with the spacer and third brake light extension bracket. You can always spray paint these. Well, you actually probably will. We're going to touch these up with some spray paint. This right here, again, this is the spacer. This is completed, studs installed, everything ready to go. You got your 3 nuts here in the back and 2 up top here. So that's going to mount to your normal OEM stock carrier bracket here, and that's going to go tightened on the studs. Now I don't personally like the kit that they give you to install these studs, these 3 studs for this. They actually give you the 3 nuts as shown before. So how they like this done, they want you to pretty much tighten the nut down to pull it in, and you can do that by hand, but I'm not a big fan of that. What I use actually is a wheel stud installer. This is actually made by Lisle, and I'm going to put a part number in the description down below so you guys can find this. This is used for actual wheel studs to install them. So what I usually do is actually slip this on here, grab a lug nut, spin it down. Now you can use an impact on this, or you can use a wrench and a socket. You can use a 19mm wrench to wrench it down, and that'll kind of pull those studs, the neck of those studs to the back. As you can see, I actually used an impact on this, which is just fine, but you need to be careful about using an impact on these. So, but this is pretty much completes the install of this, guys. I appreciate everybody watching this video, checking it out. Make sure you guys subscribe down below, hit that notification bell, hit that thumbs up, whatever you guys want to do. Share the video, like, comment, whatever. Until next time, guys, keep on wrenching.
Bad luck, there's about to be a massacre, so hold up.